These episodes are intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion advised.
Let's just say it right here, guys. Say it right here. Um, mm, it is more difficult than I ever thought it would be. Because I'm still learning how to balance it, how not to put too much energy into something one day so that I have no energy for what I need to do next. So just learning how to balance everything in the best way I know how. It's a lot on my plate. It's, being busy, but what I've learned is I don't like a lot of downtime. I don't like a lot of time to just sit around and do nothing. I thought I did, but then I had that and I was like, oh no, I don't like this. No, the hardest thing for me is actually the preparation up to it. I think, and I don't know why I underestimated this. I don't know why I thought oh yeah, this is just slim slick, got up in it and you do it and do it and do it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. I know you're tired of hearing my voice, and that's okay. I understand. Don't worry. I just got done recording an episode with somebody who you guys are going to enjoy, and it was a great conversation. It was a different type of conversation, and it honestly opened my eyes in a lot of different ways to how the military can affect our lives as military brats, but also as military personnel. So definitely tune in for that episode when it comes out. To be updated on when it's coming out, I suggest that you subscribe to Stories of a Dandelion on YouTube, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and Instagram, where it is Dandelion Diaries 10. All of that will be shown throughout the episode. So just stay tuned and stay connected. Continue to just connect to this community that is continuing to grow of military brats and mental health. And I'm excited to grow with you guys, see how we do, see where we go, and continue to learn together in new ways, in greater ways than before. So let's get into it. The average hybrid athlete. Let's just say it right here, guys. Say it right here. It is more difficult than I ever thought it would be. And I say that because as a hybrid athlete, or as the average hybrid athlete, as this is titled, this series, and I call it that because I'm not the hybrid athlete who this is my life. I don't wake up, go for a run or go for a bike ride, eat something, coach somebody based off of the lifestyle that I live of hybrid athletes or strength training or cardio, whatever it may be, and then go and do another exercise after and do that every day. I don't do that. That is not my That's not my cup of tea. And to those who do it, man, I'm like, yo, that is awesome. It looks like a good life, but I just already know it's not the life for me. I'm the one that has, the 9 to 5. That's completely different than my passions outside of that, And so it's different. It's been difficult to adapt to it, to really get into balancing everything, the 9 to 5, the podcast, and being a hybrid athlete. It hasn't been the easiest to balance. And I think so far over the last 2 months, especially with November, December time, I've balanced it in a way of doing 2 things at a time, right? So I was doing my 9 to 5 in the podcast, or not the podcast. I was doing my 9 to 5 in hybrid training. I wasn't doing much of the podcast, especially not in December, because I was focusing more on family. I was focusing more on, community and that aspect during the end of November and December timeframe. Whereas now it's all right, we had our family time, we had Christmas, we had New Year's. I'm still connected with my community. I feel stronger with my community. Now we can kind of really get back into the podcast, and I've made the goal of putting out an episode every Monday, at least a podcast episode. And it doesn't have to be a vlog, but a podcast episode. And it's become increasingly difficult. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It has become difficult because I severely underestimated how much time it needs to take to be not even just a hybrid athlete, but the time of training that it needs to do 100 miles by the end of this year. And I'm about to do a 40 miler in like 2 months. So like I severely underestimated the preparation that would need to go into this challenge. I thought the challenge was going to be the hardest thing for me. No, the hardest thing for me is actually the preparation up to it. I think, and I don't know why I underestimated this. I don't know why I thought like, oh yeah, this is just slim, slick, got up in it, and you do it and do it and do it. No. I think it was because growing up, when I was in high school, I played 2 different basketball teams while also balancing a social life and going to school. Now, mind you, the social life went with school and basketball, right? So it kind of intermingled. So that was kind of easy to balance. Also, you were told where to be at what time to be. Like you were told to be at school at this time. You were told to be at practice at this time. You were told to be at the games at this time, right? Where now it's like, go to work. You're told when to be at work, which is cool. You do that. That's normal. That's the same. But nobody tells me when to do this podcast. I decide when I do this podcast. I decide when I record. And nobody tells me when to run. I mean, not run. Nobody tells me when to bike. Nobody tells me when to lift. I decide when I lift. I decide when I want to bike. This episode going out on the 20th of January. Happy MLK, by the way. I'm so excited. I did not know that the walks during this time were so happening across the country. Absolutely amazing. The MLK walks that are happening during this time. And, we are one. We're one people. We are all human, the human race. And when we finally start listening to each other and hear each other, I believe that we're going to start being able to move forward. It's less hands, more ears. Less mouth, more ears. And not just hearing, but listening, interpreting. You may not understand, but having compassion and empathy and empathy for a person and for a situation to help us all come to a common ground, that is what matters. That was just my little side note on MLK weekend. I hope that you guys are enjoying your weekend, enjoying your day off. At the same time, I hope that you're having conversations that you've never had before. I hope that you are learning in ways that you never have had before, and that you're growing in ways during this weekend in ways that you've never done before. So don't just take this weekend as another day off, but take this weekend as a learning opportunity so that we can grow better as a human race and as a community. That's the side note. Now let's get back to hybrid athlete, the average hybrid athlete. So I'm learning how to balance all of this, right? This episode's coming out. I'm excited. I can't wait. Still has to come out on time. Thank you, God, that we're off on Monday. It would just be a longer weekend, right? But now I'm seeing that I have to schedule better. I have to do better in my scheduling in order to be successful in the challenge that I want to do at the end of the year, in order to be successful in the goal that I've set to be consistent weekly in these episodes. So, I think I've very much underestimated the time that goes into being a hybrid athlete, wanting to, do cardio and strength train, because I do know for my body, it will be the best option for me to do my best. And so I have to learn how to be like on the weekends. As much as I want to be lazy a little bit, I have to be like, all right, let's go. We have from this time to this time, we got to get out of the house, get on our bike and do the 25 miles. Like I did the 25 miles today. Could have done it earlier, could have had more time for other things like recording this earlier in the day. Definitely, I could have. And I think it's one of those things where it's a learning process and it's moving pieces. So nothing's really set in stone, but knowing that, this is this day, okay, we're going to do this. This is this day, okay, boom, boom. I had those, but I didn't have the allotted time. So now it's like, okay, we're doing this and we're doing this from this time to this time. And then we're going to do this from this time to this time. And learning how to use the extra time in my days to capitalize on as much in every single area as I can. And so waking up early enough to get things done, rather it's, okay, we're going to wake up at this time, we're going to make a coffee, kind of get ourselves ready and set. We're going to write down what we're going to talk about in this episode. Then we're going to get on it, and around 6:30, we'll record it. And then we'll... Hey guys, we are on air. I know, right? So cool to have this. But I interrupt this podcast to ask you guys to please follow us on all of our social media sites. We have Instagram, YouTube, the podcast on anywhere you get your podcast. And please share and like this episode and comment if this episode has affected you in any way. Because the more you comment, the more you like, the more you share, the more people we reach. And the more people we reach means the more the story of mental health and military brats change. So please go and follow us on all of these websites, and please share it with whoever and whomever you believe these stories will help change. Because I know that all of these stories thus far has already helped change my life. So again, I thank you guys for watching. And please like, share, comment, and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Keep it pushing by editing, getting shorts ready, posting it, and making sure that it is ready to go on Monday at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. EST. And so, Eastern. And so... yeah, that's the biggest thing. It's scheduling for me, and I just didn't know I haven't figured that out yet. But we got tomorrow. We are going to go work out tomorrow. It's not going to be as long as it would be for Saturdays, because Sundays in a lot of ways are my ways to reset. But I also might have to make those Fridays, where Fridays are the days that like I do certain things to get ready for the week ahead. So Fridays, it's like, okay, what do I need to do to prep for whatever it may be for the next week? And so Fridays may be, okay, I need to figure out my outfits for this next week, as well as get like whatever meal I can get done this week for next week. And so I'll do that. And then like lunch meals, I'll definitely continue to do that only on Sundays, where I wake up early enough to cook before I go to church. And then after church, work out and relax and be able to reset into the day, because Saturday should be allotted for morning hybrid athlete, afternoon podcaster. And so it's a lot on my plate. It's, being busy. But what I've learned is like I don't like a lot of downtime. I don't like a lot of time to just sit around and do nothing. I thought I did, but then like I had that and I was like, oh no, I don't like this. But being busy, being set, and being like, all right, now it's time to go to bed, having my matcha, going to sleep, waking up, doing it all over again. Like I really enjoy that because when it comes time to relax and do nothing, it's like, oh no, I needed this day because I've been going so much. Sometimes you'll need an extra day. And I'll take that extra day to do nothing and just be. Very hard for me to do. But in the midst of it, and then like after that day is done, I can be like, oh yeah, no, I needed that rest because I've just been going. And even though you are getting rested, sometimes your body can say, hey, look, we need to slow down for a minute, take the day. And so I need to also learn how to listen to my body and adapt to it instead of just keep pushing. Listen to my body, adapt, because I don't want any injuries. I don't want to get sick. I want this to be a well-rounded prep for me in a way, I guess. Yeah, prep. And I'm learning more about my nutrition, what I need, the foods I need to focus on, the protein that I need a lot more of in my diet right now. So just looking at the different ways I can make the protein that I enjoy and grow into this new season that I have opted to walk in. And so I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see who comes out on the other side. I know there's going to be a lot more discipline, a lot more depending on the goals I set instead of how I feel about a situation to really be successful in every single thing that I want to do this year. So that is what I've learned in this first honestly week of, not even week because I've been doing this for last 3 weeks now, but I think I had a couple ready before the time for the podcast. But for the last couple weeks, let's just say how important it is for me to be able to balance everything and how important it is for me to schedule and just stay on top of things in order to be successful in doing the podcast and growing it and being a hybrid athlete and learning what that entails and knowing that it may be more than what I thought it was, but it's not more than I can handle. I didn't bite off more than I could chew. I just now have to adapt to this new environment, this new season, and go from there. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited for what's to come with it. I'm excited for the body change. I'm excited for the mental change. I'm excited for the spiritual change and the community that will come with it. So definitely. But the average hybrid athlete, she out here. I'm going to keep y'all updated. I am tired today, but that's obvious. Like, I just did 25 miles, y'all. 25 miles today against the wind. So, of course, I'm going to be tired, but you learn how to put energy in the places that you need to put your energy in. And man, does that change a lot of things. And I believe that'll be a future episode about energy and how I am directing it in each and everything that I'm doing, being the average hybrid athlete. But that'll be a future episode. So stay tuned because I'm still learning how to balance it, how not to put too much energy into something one day so that I have no energy for what I need to do next. So just learning how to balance everything in the best way I know how. And it only comes with time. So stay tuned. Let's see how this goes. No, this is not going to be one of those like, oh, well, I thought I could, do it, but I didn't know. This is going to be me coming on here and being like, hey, look, I said I was going to do this and we're going to do it and we're going to do it together. So thank you guys for all your support. The bike ride that I am doing not this month, but in March. It is going to be for ALS, and I have linked down below the place that you can go to donate money. As we know, ALS is not just affected here in the United States, but all around the world. And if you have the ability to donate, please donate whatever you can down below so that we might find a cure. We might find a way to prevent the disease or a way to manage it. And I think, the more research for anything that we can do, the more knowledge we can, the better we can do. And I know that our health systems or whatever it may be may not seem like the best. Okay, they aren't the best, but I believe that the different organizations that do cancer or ALS, their sole mission is to find a way to get rid of whatever it is, whether it's cancer or ALS, in this case ALS, or prevent and manage it the best way possible to keep that person being the person that they are and not the condition. So please donate whatever you can, and I'll see y'all next week for another episode. I'm so excited for another episode on the Average Hybrid Athlete series. And as I said before, future episodes are coming with a couple of guests that I think you guys are going to really enjoy. And I'm just excited for the guests that come on this year. To be honest with you guys, I don't really have people planned this year. For season 1 and season 2, I had people planned to come on. This year, I do not. So I'm with you guys with whoever comes on. I am just as surprised and just as excited as you guys are. And I can't wait to see what's to come. I think Valentine's Day is coming up, and I was thinking about talking to the ladies about love. We've already talked to the guys, so let's see if we can talk to the ladies. I'll put out a little short about that pretty soon. And yeah, just stay tuned for more to come on Stories of a Dandelion. I will see you guys next week for another episode. I love you guys. I thank you guys for tuning in, and you guys have a wonderful... Let's try that again. Have a wonderful rest of your holiday weekend. Again, try to have those conversations that you don't typically have on a daily basis and learn something new this week or this today about somebody else that you don't typically talk to. Let's get into deeper conversations with people who are different with us. And let's see how much we can change the world by listening and working together. All right, guys. See you next week. Peace. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. There are a ton more tea time episodes as well as stories that are going to be shared on this podcast to come. So please like and subscribe or follow down below. And I will see you all next Military Brat Monday. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I am so excited to continue this journey with all of you.